I got a question asked to me in the form of Kiora post that came up in my email. The question is, why is the Supreme Court slowing down the Trump DC case? This is just a delay tactic. The stark truth is the true jury in all of the Trump trials will come in on November 5th, and we, the public, needs to see and understand the evidence as clearly as possible in order to make a proper decision. To this end, a trial is preferable to the trial by public opinion that we have now, at least when it comes to the January 6th cases and the classified documents trial. This disturbing question remains why the Supreme Court is taking this seriously. There is an inconvenient reality that this is a pertinent issue that does merit honest legal discourse, but not at the risk of justice delayed in the case of Donald James Trump, who is a serial abuser of American justice. Perhaps the best solution is to let a jury decide the difference between the legitimate exercise of executive power and treason, or whatever crime / label that Trump has committed. It even can be written into the Supreme Court decision that this is a one-time thing, or this action should not be used as precedent, which is periodically done. So why did the Supreme Court have this despicable display which has caused lamestream media to have a conniption fit? Perhaps lamestream media is right in their assessment, is right in the pending decision that should have come down in December last year, or when the DC Appeals Court made its airtight decision in March. The reality is that this case is on hold and makes any speculation meaningless. Now for the good news. The lamestream media won't tell you. This case is only details the one case dealing with January 6th that can easily come to trial before the election, and might be more important to take note of the facts that are presented in the Trump's current trial. Let's start with the reality that the federal January 6th trial can't start as long as the current trial goes on regarding election interference. And the same goes for the Georgia case, which is the same January 6th case, but with TV cameras, where Trump's minions have reached new lows in trying to get to stop that trial. It is a whole lot harder to stop both trials. We might need to. In the meantime, the Trump media strategy, which has terrorized us for all the decades, is coming out in a musty New York courtroom for a jury to decide and the rest of us to take notice. We need to pay attention to how the National Enquirer and the rest of tabloid media has manipulated us to enable Trump in his dysfunctional existence. This may be more important than January 6th, especially when you consider Russia, if you're listening, in the proper context of election interference. In this context, it is easy to understand why lamestream media tries to pretend that Trump's shit don't stink. It is important to note that Fox and lamestream media is not the entire media. The truth is out there, and I'm ready to help us find it in order for us to make the right decision come November. Just remember that any jury is not the final vote.